Hey everybody, welcome to another Age of Wonders 4 Dev Diary recap. This is week 7. Exploration, meeting the neighbors. I've missed a few. We'll be catching up on those over the next day or two. But I've been really busy and I've kind of forgotten to do these in the busyness. So yeah, I'm sorry about that. I really wish I could have done them when they came out, but we will get back to them. I promise. Because I missed a couple and I want to check them out together with you. But this week we're gonna do week 7, and then tomorrow or Sunday I'll go back and do week 4, 5, and 6. But it's the first thing I should say. The game's up for pre-order now, so you can pre-order it and be ready for the launch on May 2nd. But yeah. So let's get into it and read Dev Diary number 7. Today we'll be looking at the early game exploration and player of the environment phase, where you'll get your bearings using your scouts, identify allies and threats, while looking for opportunities in the mythic lands around you. Scouting is more important than ever due to the large variety of realms you've entered to. See previous Dev Diary. We'll be seeing that previous Dev Diary here soon. And the decision you make in the early game will have a big effect on the development of your empire. Unexplored terrain is covered in mists that swirl around mountaintops. Kind of similar to, I guess we'll call it a fog of war. We rendered silhouettes of terrain features into the mist, so you have a rough awareness of the lay of the land. I like that. The units you send out explore this terrain to reveal terrain features in the presence of settlements and armies. If explored hexagons exit the vision range of your units or structures, then they become part of the fog of war, meaning you cannot track enemy armies. Some units have camouflage abilities, allowing them to hide in particular terrain features. Sensor range from planetfall makes a return as remote sensing. Alright, that's interesting. I didn't use, from what I remember, I didn't use a ton of, I don't remember using a lot of sensor range. But, again, it's probably been a while since I played Planetfall, so I don't know. This allows you to sense enemy presence in the fog and access the early warning system. A number of upgrades improve the range of this ability. At default, this remote sensing is 0. Every race has a scout unit in its culture. They combine high mobility with far vision and have perks pending cultures. Their primary uses on the world map. In combat, they can work as skirmishers, pelting enemies with their ranged attacks. Examples: the Dark Outrider has extra vision in the enemy domain and has camouflage abilities. The Floating Mystic Projection has the ability to find Astral Echo pickups, which grant knowledge and mana. So we also have Wayfinder Enchantment and Enchanted Crows. We have Seafaring, Excavation, Advanced Sensing, and Force March. Those are kind of different skills that can be obtained throughout the campaign. Of course, there are other skills in the Empire Tree and Tomes that can help your scouts, but that will need to wait for a later diary. You'll discover points of interest that help you in your empire building endeavors. While scouting, you can snap up unguarded pickups here and there, which can be highly lucrative in itself. The main point is to identify expansion targets as well as threats looming in the mists. Here are the main location categories you can count on the map. Pickups, these stashes of resources boost the early game economy. Resource nodes, all provinces provide income, but resource nodes such as pastures, deposits, mana spring, they provide a good bonus and unlock special province improvement types for your city. And magic materials, those provide a unique benefit when located in your domain. If you gather all 3 of a type, another bonus kicks in. Given their rarity, you may have to trade with other players or free cities to complete your sets, heavily guarded and less positioned enemy domains. So this is the UI that gives an idea of kind of your magic materials. Kind of gives us an idea of what's in the game, how it's set up. And Ancient Wonders. These landmarks are of exceptional value and require an army led by a hero to explore. Quite a few improvements have been made to these sites, warranting a separate upcoming Devil Journal. That's going to be interesting. These locations listed above may be found in the Uncharted Wilderness, but some are unfortunately located inside the territories of non-playable character factions, the Free Cities, and the always hostile Infestation. So we can clear nodes. No clearing in itself is also lucrative, giving significant rewards after the battle. These level up heroes and units, and you can get your heroes out with the received loot. In 3, losing a unit during these early player v environment battles could be very painful, as the development of your starting city would stall building replacement. With 4 separate production queues for units and buildings, that's much less of an issue. I love that. I've said that a few times throughout this process. I love that they've separated units and building because I do always have that problem with games that have one production queue. So if you lose all your units, you're screwed. And I like that they've done that. So if you found and cleared a cluster of resource nodes some distance away from your capital, you can claim them by building an outpost with a hero-led army. A outpost can later be turned into a full city at the cost of Imperium. I haven't seen that in a lot of games. I think the last game I've seen that particular mechanic in that worked was Humankind, so I like that. I'm used to that from Humankind. Outposts project province claims around them too, and are a source of early tension with other players in free cities. They can be upgraded in multiple ways with walls, watchtowers, and even annexing nearby provinces like Ancient Wonders. Infestations replace the monster spawners found in earlier games. They are the territories of various baddies, from brigands to cultists to various monsters. They are indicated by an ominous red border. Yeah, looks like it. With a spawner at its heart. There's a picture of it. There's another picture of the map with Astral Rift, it looks like. Yeah. At the very start of the game, infestations are asleep, meaning they don't have patrols and they do not send out raids. When their sleep timer runs out, they wake up. The player gets a warning when nearby infestations send out raids. They will pillage your provinces and may even besiege towns. Players should prioritize destroying nearby infestations before they become a problem, but this may come at the expense of taking over another significant location of the game, like an ancient wonder or a city. Infestation domain gradually grows province by province. When overlap with your own cities, raids on your province improvements will be frequent. Taking out the spawner will destroy the domain and provide some treasure, generally a significant resource reward and hero item. Infestations territories can often contain clusters of resources, making them great settling spots once they're cleared, and note that new infestations can appear later in the game depending on world threat level. So there's one of the infestation monsters, a Karag, a tier 5 champion. It's actually quite the long dev diary. I'm very impressed. We have free cities, which are the minor factions of Age of Wonders 4. They consist of single cities controlling a cluster of provinces on the map that are pre-placed. So this is what happens when you meet a friendly neighbor. A nice dialogue takes place, or a not nice dialogue, depending on how chaotic you want to be. That's the friendly neighbor, though. Free cities often have rare resources in their domains, which is awesome. Free cities are led by a hero. They're inhabited by one of the main races in the realm. And they vary in power, affecting the territory they control. The units at their disposal in their city defenses. Some higher tier houses are attuned to a particular affinity, giving them access to magical powers of transformation. You start negotiations with free cities by handing them one of your Whispering Stones, which opens up direct communications with them. Note that some free cities start off hostile towards you, or may turn hostile if your relation diminishes. As with infestations, they could send raids to your land if you're hostile, leave them be at your own peril. Free cities will also have defenders outside of their domain guarding valuable resource nodes and magic materials. This creates interesting trade-offs. If you want them removed, you can fight them, but there's also a more diplomatic approach through narrative map encounter events. There's one of them. With a Whispering Stone assigned, that town will build up allegiance towards you. The organic rate is determined by your relation with the town. You have the Pact of Cooperation, which opens the borders and enables basic trading. You have the Pact of Loyalty, which is shared vision. If they see things, you can see it too, and vice versa. Pact of Vassalage, which basically makes them a vassal. However, you may not be the only one chasing after the loyalty of free cities. Other rules intend on gaining vassals as well. Your relation get initialized at the start of the game. Rulers with a mortal champion origin get a plus 100 relation bonus to all free cities. During gameplay, your relationship can be modified positively or negatively. Some modifiers include narrative events, trespassing through your domain, which negatively affects it. Heroes hailing from free cities may join your services, which increases your relationship with that free city. And don't get them killed, because that will probably get them negatively affected. And other events involve captured heroes, you see here. And there's a captured hero event. You can lose the allegiance once per turn by spending Imperium. you can, when you reach high enough allegiance, the town becomes a vassal, meaning you've won the race of, and other players cannot get them except through force. From here, you can decide to keep them as vassals, especially if your empire cannot administer more towns due to its city cap being reached. You can even turn your own cities into vassals to prevent penalties coming from the city cap. Rally the Lieges, an event that spawns after a number of turns, allowing you to recruit units from free cities in the ancient wonders that you have cleared. You can recruit units to your capital, or use them to bolster the free city itself. Gathering vassals to help secure extra resources and units through the Rally of Lieges. Choosing the Red Empire skills can also lead to several tactical advantages against other players if you time those unlocks well. For example, playing order grants access to powerful unlocks that help you gain allegiance faster and to gain an extra whispering zone, but it also makes it possible to only once start a rally of allegiance instantly where all the units are free and you have added points for recruiting them. Shadow Affinity allows you to recruit from free cities in different ways by having whispering stones, give extra vision, and also by allowing you to assign your whispering stone to someone else's vassal and gaining tribute from that city equal to their own. And there's the last photo. The Rally of the Lieges right there. I hope this journal gives you an idea of what the early game is like. I like the early game based on reading this. There's obviously 2 months till the game. By themselves, their systems have seen a strong evolution since the last game, but whether I think the biggest differences lies the extent that these systems are interwoven with each other, leading to interesting trade-offs, surprises, and varied gameplay. There will be more dev journals in the coming weeks. Like I said, we'll be going back and checking out other episodes or other additions to the Dev Diary. But for now, it's going to do it. Like, subscribe, favorite, turn on notifications. Go check out the Marvelous Midnight Suns video from earlier today. And I'll see you next time.